we are going to use Desmos to draw a set of parallel lines cut by a transversal. And then we're going to look at the properties of the angles made by these three lines. So let's begin by clicking the line tool and drawing a line. So we click, drag, and let go. Now, having drawn that line, we're going to draw the line parallel to it. But instead of drawing it freehand, we're going to construct a line that's always parallel to it. To do that, I go to More Tools, and there's a Parallel Line tool. So I click the Parallel Line tool, and it gives me instructions. First thing is choose a line to set slope. That means choose the line that's going to determine the slope of the two parallel lines. So that's going to be this one. Then we choose a point to set the location. So we're going to choose another point off that line where the parallel line will be. And you can see in gray is where the line will end up once I click. So I have not pressed on the button yet. I find my location, doesn't really matter because we can move it later. Then I click. So now I've got two parallel lines. And if I go to the Select tool and I move the first line, we can see that the second line stays parallel to it. They're always parallel, and I can drag the second line closer and farther to the first line. But wherever they are, these two will always be parallel. So next, I'm going to move this point over. We want to draw a third line that intersects the two parallel lines. This is called the transversal. So we go to Line tool, click above the two lines, drag down across the two lines, and let go. So now I've got my lines. Now I'm going to construct some points so that we can talk about the angles that these make. So I'm going to click the point tool. I'm going to construct a point at the point of intersection here, a point at the point of intersection here, and a point over here. So I've got 3 points on these parallel lines and 4 points on the transversal line. Let's go to the Select tool. I'm going to move these a little bit closer just to make it look nice. And not more tools. Now I just want to give my points names. So I click on each point and click Label. So there's point A, point B, etc. Okay, so now if I take the Select tool, I can move the transversal line around and I can move the parallel lines. So we want to see what's happening with these angles because there's some properties here. The first set of angles we're going to look at is what are called corresponding angles. These are the angles that are in the same position for both of these two intersections. So in other words, I'm going to select, I'm going to measure one angle. I'm going to measure angle HGF. So I click on the angle tool, choose a point on one leg, H, choose the vertex, G, and choose the other point on the other leg, F. So there I've got that angle. Now, this is the upper right-hand corner. So I'm going to now go down and get the angle in this intersection that's also in the upper right-hand corner. That's the corresponding angle. So I'm going to click G, C, E, leg, vertex, leg, and now I see I've measured that angle as well. I'm done measuring angles, so I go to the Select tool. And now we see what happens to these corresponding angles when I move H, when I move F, and when I move B. So you should notice something very clear about corresponding angles. And we can see if we do another set of corresponding angles, we can see that's true for them too. So I'm going to measure, I'm going to click the angle tool, I'm going to measure HGA and GCB, and there we go. Once again, when I move around, what's true about those angles is always true. So, go to your sheet. There are a few questions about corresponding angles. Answer those questions.